allow power picks like Valentina and Fanny out of the picture pretty much shows you why they're power picks throughout the entire regular season and even the current patch.
All right, I still want to talk about AIM, but I'm going to switch the conversation a little bit. I'm looking at AIM with some of his key picks that got wins on Orange. 3 of these heroes, the Digi, the Kadita, as well as the Matilda. Do you think in this entire best of 5, will Orange attempt to give these kind of heroes onto AIM, or it's still going to be a tank, just a different tank?
I think it really comes down to whether or not they ban out this Valentina. I feel like they need to get rid of it because especially when you are on blue side and you get that first pick, what's worrisome is having to draft around a Valentina. No matter what you do or whatever counter picks that you have, stealing an ultimate away just to have a double cult altar or double time journeys, it kind of works against you.
Yeah, right now we're looking at both Stormy as well as Hachi from Blacklist. This is the player head-to-head. We're not comparing in our own region. We're comparing with MPL Philippines, where in terms of the KDA as well as total MVP, Stormy is doing pretty well for himself.
Yep, he has demonstrated from Orange Esports from the entire regular season. You know, he's just a strong, stable core in this team. But he wasn't able to demonstrate with that in game number 1 just because of the fact that the drafts might be a little bit tough to do. We've seen Toda kind of accustom himself to deal against a Valentina composition. We haven't seen too much from Orange yet. So maybe just, like you said as well, banning off of Valentina, play to something that they're comfortable, and then just roll with it.
Now that I was about to say the heavens is shining onto Stormy, but now, you know, we got the umbrella. He should be fine. I think the heavens is still giving their praises to Stormy as well.
No, he's just telling Heaven, wait a little bit, let me get to M4 first, let me get that ticket in my hand before you shine on me.
Yeah, but either way right now, Toda going up against Orange, and the thing is, I did see the players when they were exiting the stage, Orange Esports, they did not look phased at all. In fact, they kind of looked excited, kind of know like, all right, this plan didn't work. So it kind of gives me a signal that they have another plan that even in their own heads, it's like, Toda is not going to see what's coming up next.
I think when it comes to Todak's pressure, it seems to be a little bit high, but we do see, well, the conference being very supportive. It makes a lot of sense, right? Because there is a lot on the line for Toda. If you think about bragging rights, 4-time M4 attendee, how often can you say that?
I mean, it's not going to M4 4 times. It's 4 times going to the M series.
Right? Yeah, sorry, yeah.
But either way, I can't wait. So let's go straight into the draft of game number 2. Gideon, you were talking about the Valentina ban. So lead us in. What is both Orange and Toda looking for?
Right now, I think Orange Esports, they're still going to follow their strategy of playing for Valence, right? I think they still need to take out these really good power picks. Cho is already good. They might as well get rid of Paquito, but I suggest banning out that Valentina so you have access to Akai, Diggy, and as well as the Call Altar from the farm.
Oh, Chiku, guys, being one of the most flexible player here in regular season with the highest unique hero pool of 19 heroes. And he's played almost every single role so far, and even the analysts. All right. He's played it all.
He's played it all, and not just every single role, but he's bringing every single, how should I say this, type of heroes into the mid. He's brought the mages, he's brought the supports, he's brought the tanks, the fighters. Every single hero can be used in mid.
Yep, I think it really shows his experience and maturity in the game itself. I mean, the man's already married. What more do you need from him?
Dude, the only thing he's missing in the entire team role is that he's not been a manager. Aside from that, you know, he's been an analyst, and you know, if you still got it, you got it, man. Eventually, he's still in his prime, but if he kind of, you know, whittles down, he still can transition into the future.
Right now, Orange Esports, they themselves banned out the Claude. It was their first pick. The Valentina is open. Are we looking at a Valentina first pick here?
They have to. You know, seeing how Chico played in the first game, they have to.
You know, it's a 50-50 chance here because Paquito is open. That's something that Todak and as well as Orange Esports left open for the most part of it. Now Subway has a little bit more kill potential, which is always great, but I feel like Todak is definitely going to pick Valentina up here, but this does allow Orange Esports to play a little bit more comfortably now that they have somebody who's willing to actually initiate these fights.
Yeah, on top of it all, Paquito is an okay way to mirror match up against a Fanny. So if Todak decides to bring it up the table again, it's not, I would say, entirely helpless and compared to game number 1. So if Toda brings it up the table, Paquito is a golden way, you know, and all they gotta do is just draft heroes that doesn't exactly give high value ultimates to Valentina. So I was very surprised with the Atlas pickup from Orange Esports allowing the Valentina, but as of yet, Todak, they're still deciding, do they pick the Fanny now, or do they force Subway to play it in second phase rotation? It seems like Todak, they put it on the sides for now. Orange is what they can pick it up for themselves.
If it's not broken, why fix it? Todak again is bringing the Valentina, and the Ruby is going to be strong either being a roamer or an EXP laner. Now the thing is, Orange Esports, they saw how Chiku is going to be playing the Valentina. Let's think about this logically. They should assume that this is going to happen. Do you think that Orange Esports, they're just going to try to match hero for hero in terms of the mid lane matchup, or they're going to avoid Chiku guys altogether and go for a different lane?
Here's the thing. I think Stormy might, well, or the discussion at the very least amongst the Orange Esports corner is going to be whether or not they want to actually pick up the Gusion for Stormy in the mid lane. And even though they already have a potential jungle pick here, they could switch things up. So Yves gets locked in. They want to force Todak to say, hey, you need an engagement tool. You're not going to have Formace playing something like Yuzong, and if you do, that means the Ruby has to go into the support lane. Grok isn't there, so you need a secondary way to ensure that the real-world manipulation does not connect.
Yeah, this is going to be tough considering that Todak, they still have the Yuzong available to actually cut the back lines. They've got Kadita in the pool as well. But if Todak decides to go for a double mage composition, they could, but it would be a little bit risky for them, man. I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to go for a Minotaur as well, which I don't think they should, but knowing Todak, anything can happen, man.
I think they should go for Yuzong. Personally,
Yuzong
Todak
definitely
gets
agree.
Yuzong here, and then immediately start banning out sandbagging EXP laners like MPL, Uranus.
You know what?
Hold up.
You know what? We as casters, we gotta be professional, but thumbs up to you, you dude. But right now, Todak, they got the Gusion, and honestly, rival on the Gusion is amazing. We talked about the Yuzong, but I actually want to talk about Todak, where right now, Orange Esports, they have the Clint, and Clint is really strong in the gold lane. So Todak, do they want to match up with a marksman, or are they going for a double fighter side lane, as we see them do quite often?
I think it depends on how confident Valence is on this Clint into specifically Popo and Koopa or the Brody matchup. Because if they start banning out the Yuzong, they have to ban out the Lapu Lapu as well.
Exactly,
You can't just do 50-50 here. You have to commit on one of these lanes.
Yeah, but when it comes to the composition right now, I feel like from the side of Todak, Gusion here is going to be the biggest threat for Mufai and Orange Esports. Eve, yes, we talked about how great it is CC, but right now, Orange Esports, they need a way to protect this Eve, and currently, there's not a lot of heroes that can actually do so, and Todak, they've got Gusion that can die, they've got this Ruby, they've got Valentina can just completely one-shot this Eve, and Eve is in a spot where his positioning is going to be even more crucial than before.
Personally, I want to see Todak double down on this and actually get a very, very strong early game, because Gusion is very good in a snowball composition, because one-shotting the Eve, honestly, is not that impressive. One-shotting any tank, any fighter, that's going to be so annoying to deal with, especially once the Gusion completes his glowing wand. I don't think anyone can really deal with that. So, I don't know, personally for me, I kind of want to see Todak focusing on an early game draft. What do you think?
I think, on an early game draft, that could be a little hard, because considering that a lot of these strong early game heroes are being taken out, they have to go for things like Yuzong at this point and pray for a good matchup. And this matchup could be, for all we know, Orange Esports could decide to switch on over to picking up a Balmond.
I was a little bit surprised by the bans coming from Orange Esports. Like, Benedetta, I can understand that, right? If you drop Real Illumination, the Electro Final combos comes in, you're gonna die. Esmeralda ban, I felt like was a little bit uncalled for, considering that Yuzong was a bigger threat to try and deny the Real World Manipulation, whereas if they go for the Esmeralda, at least they can pick a deer off the side.
Just saying, I'm calling out for the Matilda, and right now, Orange Esports, they're picking up the Barats. I honestly love the Barats pick as well.
It's so very smart here, because if they wanted a Balmond, they get neutral objectives, but they don't exactly have a way to kind of initiate these fights and really start pressing an advantage. Balmond slow rolls that. If you take something like Barat, he steamrolls that.
Oh, but right now, Todak, they're picking up the carry. I was going to talk about looking at Orange Esports. Not only can the Barat engage, but the problem with the Barat, he doesn't have a dash. But having the Matilda, that's no longer a problem. But Todak right now, they have the carry. Obviously, Orange Esports, they have to pressure this carry. But if the carry survives, I would say the first 7 minutes, honestly, I'm not feeling too good for Orange Esports.
Well,
I agree with you.
the response coming in from Orange Esports, bringing in the Barats, a very tanky frontliner to zone out. Toda immediately responds with his carry with true damage and a tank slayer. I'd say it's pretty difficult. However, it all comes down to execution.
Right now, honestly, both drafts are looking great. Orange Esports, I want to see how the Barats actually apply a lot of pressure onto Todak, and I want to see that goalie matchup. But let's go in to the second game of this best of 5, Todak against Orange.
Game number 2 already started to begin here. 1-0 in favor of Todak so far. Orange Esports on the blue side, Todak on the red side. Now, coming down to how this early game is going to go, generally Orange Esports needs to leave Clint by himself with the carry, and Valence will dominate that lane. So it's all up to AIM to make sure that Ryumski doesn't mix up that matchup, doesn't give that advantage over to Momo.
Yeah, when it comes to the decision from Todak, obviously they are going to try and slow down Subway as much as they can. Orange Esports, they need to realize that their win condition right now is solely dependent on Subway snowballing the entire fight. You can see it, they're harassing Chiku guys, making sure that he doesn't get super out of control from the get-go. He's getting pretty harassed out, but Chiku guys is going to be forced to give up a little bit of pressure down the lane.
Well, I mean, let's not forget that the side lanes are currently very, very volatile, especially for the EXP lane. So as long as Stormy maintains this pressure with AIM, forcing out that mid lane, they could rotate for their aid.
Right now, honestly, I like that Toda they understand the matchup right now, because looking at Momo using the carry, he's actually controlling the lane very, very well. And right now, AIM, is he out of position?
He's about to die.
Great sidestep, but it's not going to be enough. First blood coming from Rivals, patiently waiting for the right moment to strike.
Yeah, really unfortunate coming in from AIM. He should have known this was going to happen. He's a little unfamiliar with this matchup, especially when it comes down to when junglers are going to hit level 4.
Right now, looking at the game, Toda right now, they're actually looking at Orange Esports, and it looks like they completely understand AIM's movement. And so I kind of agree. I feel like AIM should really switch it up, because if he's going to give over free kills to Toda, then they could just snowball off of Rival, honestly.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very likely as well. So as of yet, Orange Esports, they have to take a little bit of a slow pill, because Subway is going to be the core hero to be in the front lines to actually stop this out. But as of yet, Chiku guys, he's got the real world manipulation. He's going to be able to zone them out. It all comes down to the first turtle engagement, and Chiku guys, they drop it, they get the turtle, and on top of it all, 4 mates, he catches 2, and he's going to try and finish things off. Stormy finally drops it down, but it's a little bit too late. They took down Subway, they took down Neo, and right now they're trapping Stormy in the grass, and Stormy will be able to narrowly escape this.
I don't know about the two of you, man, but that looked pretty messy coming in from Orange Esports.
I would say that Todak played that perfectly. I think Chiku guys preemptively using the real world manipulation gave them a huge heads up, because now Stormy, he wants to use his own real world manipulation, but Neo doesn't have pressure in that side lane, and Forme's purposefully holding up his Black Dragon form to make sure that Stormy cannot just pop his ult freely.
Yeah, it was so difficult in this kind of scenarios, but Orange Esports, it's back into a drawing board as well. We talked about how Subway being very, very important. Todak realizes it, instantly punishes them in this vicinity. But as of yet, it all comes down to securing the farms up on Valence. We talked about how Valence is the core members coming from Orange Esports. You can see they're heavily focusing on down to this bottom lane to make sure that Valence is going to be able to come back for Orange Esports.
Right now, my question is very, very simple. I need professional opinions. What should Orange do right now? Because looking at how they're moving across the map, it looks like they don't have a clear direction what they should be doing.
Well, I think number one, AIM shouldn't be looking to open the map onto the enemy side. They've got a general idea based on the number of camps left in the enemy jungle. So what they need to do at this stage of the game is start playing for the gold lane, looking to dive the carry as soon as possible.
It seems like Rival, he wants to try and threaten Neo a little bit, but as of yet, I don't think Neo is the right target to do so. He does have the engagements to actually kind of knock out and push Rival away, but the biggest threat is going to be Subway, because as of yet, he doesn't have his stacks. And Toda to realize it, they immediately going for the dive. Rival looking for a little bit more. The circling eagle keeps him in check, but he barely survives it. Orange Esports, they could not get the trade-off.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate that somebody else walks into the vicinity of the turret and actually takes the aggro for Gushin right at the very last second. And more importantly, Stormy doesn't get a full combination of the real-world manipulation at the end of the day just because he doesn't have enough stacks built up.
I'm sorry, but my mouth was wide open. Stormy going up against the Gushin. He was targeted with the real manipulation, having enough shield to survive. Stormy, no wonder he has an amazing amount of KDA.
Yeah, it's all about surviving this first run, but as of yet, I feel like Subway is just struggling just because of the fact that Barrage is so hard to execute. It's a snowboarding hero, you need to constantly maintain his stacks, and to maintain it means that you have to be constantly attacking minions, and you can see the patience coming from Soda. They realize he doesn't respect, they immediately dive in, and that's the weakest point of Barrage.
Well, I think also, wait, hold on, Neo, he's gonna get doped upon.
Oh, Neo, he's gotta clear the minions. He wants to tank the aggro. He's going for a couple of side steps here and there, but there's only so much you can do on this Paquito, especially without the help of your teammates. Now, the mirror comes in from the side of Orange. They want to go in for the fight against Momo, but look at this. Subway, he's tanking the minions. Momo finally gets bursted down, but can Chiku get a little bit more value out of this? Because as of yet, Valence is here to try and chip him down. He tries to go for a kill. Chiku, he's barely hanging on. He's buying so much space because as of yet, Toda, they're trading the middle turret as well. Valence caught in a very awkward position. Yumski tries to stall in for the rest of the team. Rival is coming in. He's going for the combo. He misses it, but does he have enough damage? He doesn't. It seems like he is going to play it a little bit slow. Formace, however, tries to stall the middle lane, but unfortunately, Toda, they can't get any more out of this.
Oh my goodness, that was about to be bad for Orange Esports. I mean, Rival, if he landed that sword spike, it was over for Valence. But this might just be it.
No, Valence, he might be caught out, and yes, he will. That's going to be a kill out towards Momo.
Right now, looking at the game, Orange made a very good engage, focusing on the gold lane, but then overstaying their welcome. Right now, Orange Esports, I kind of feel like they got to slow it down. And the thing that you said you want to watch out for is the shot calling. I feel like Valence, he needs to get his hit into the game.
I think more than that, but Formace is now in some trouble here.
Oh, Formace, he manages to slow down the first great engagement, and Orange Esports, they're forced to back out now. Can they retreat? Will Toda let them off the hook? The Circling Eagle comes in, buys a little bit more time. Aim was able to escape this. Neo finally strikes and takes a jab onto his Jiku, and that's going to be a great retaliation. However, once again, Toda, they're great at trading and salvaging situations, and Momo chipping away this tier 2. The rest of Orange Esports is going to be coming down, but they're giving away pressure towards the top lane. Look at the minimap itself, top side, they're diving Neo. Toda, they're coming in. Neo, he's gonna buy a little bit more time, but the damage, can he survive? No, he will not. Rival will get the final dagger in.
Well, despite everything that has happened so far, Orange Esports is adapting. I feel like Toda is looking for the long-term game. They're seeing multiple steps ahead, but Orange Esports is slowly adapting to the specific situations and the specific ways that they need to actually get into these fights.
Oh, the desperation is coming in. Orange Esports, they realize who the bigger threat is. There's a freebie they cannot afford to give away. The turtle is okay. However, bottom side, Valence getting a little bit greedy with his farm. He is going to pay with his knife in his 1v1 matchup. Rival also going to be finding another from the side of Toda. Neo is going to be left there. Aim needs to get him out alive. He flickers out of the daggers coming from Rival, so he's going to be a-okay. But where is Subway? Subway, he needs his purple buff. He needs to fight this. Toda is pretty weak, but do they have the damage to fight it? Circling Eagle comes in. Subway gets in a jab with the Daytona Smoke. He gets two, but he needs the damage. He needs to chase Yumski. Can he get the kill? No, he's getting slowed pretty hard, but eventually the stack is gonna have enough. The taunt coming from Yumski is gonna pay the price.
No, that's the worst way to go. That's the worst. I mean, Yumski could have easily lived that. He could have flickered out of the way.
He just had to recall in front of his face.
He just had to, and he stood in the oil for too long until he got lit up by the fireworks. Momo, look at this.
Oh, no.
He's so strong right now. He wins his 1v1 against Valence. He finds Neo because of his level advantage, and I think at this point in time, Todak is online.
Yeah, this is going to be tough because Rival is making a dive towards Valence. Great sidestep coming from Valence, but he will not escape the real world manipulation. They get the retaliation under the jungle, but as of yet, Subway, he's trying his best to sustain his way through. Chico going for a couple of bolts, but this is the power of the barrage. He's got the sustains, he's got the tankiness, but Yumski finally looking for to join the fight. He wants to go in for the catch, but he cannot. Chiku constantly scaring Orange Esports apart, and you can see why they don't want to force the fight, not knowing where Momo is.
I can't believe Formaze was able to proc his shot residue there onto Subway of all people. I mean, he got the full combination down. I don't know how he got multiple stacks on him, and I think it was because of his second skill on 2 targets that put him at 2 stacks before jumping on in. Somehow sneaking an auto attack in there as well.
Right now, Doda, they're creating a lot of chaos and they're reveling in it. Right now, Orange Esports, they're having a tough time to actually fight back. But looking at the items, Stormy only have 2 damaging items, and looking at Clint only having the endless battle. Like, looking at the goalie 5000, I didn't thought it would be this big of a difference.
I mean, Momo's accelerating. He's 4-1-0. He's 3 items. He's basically 2 items ahead of Valence right now because he delayed his Blade of Despair. And now this is the result. Torak, with his 6k gold lead, a majority coming in from both Rival and as well as Momo, they're going to skyrocket this until the very first Lord and then look to take down an inhibitor.
Yeah, it all comes down towards buying time, right? We know how Subway needs to snowball their way through, but as of yet, Orange is what they're deliberately picking a fight where Momo is not in his vicinity, because if Momo joins the fight, Subway is going to be completely deleted in a couple of auto attacks. In this case, with the Lord pushing in, knowing Todak, they do want to try and play for a little bit more split and greedy approach, but Orange is what they need to make a play eventually.
Right now, Subway, he has no way to actually get his stacks. This is not going to be good for Orange Esports, especially looking at Formies, how he's playing using this Yuzong. I don't know, can Orange actually defend their base?
I think high ground defense is definitely possible, but I don't think holding on to all 3 inhibitors is going to work.
Real world manipulation has been expended. I was expecting Chiku guys to hold it on, but that is going to be a wasted attempt. However, with the Lord knocking in, is it going to be a big significant factor? Rival throwing a couple of daggers to zone him out. He securely gets the top inhibitor safely for Masada Toda, but here comes the counter engagement. But the pull from Yoski, he connects on 4 maze, goes in for the Petrify, but they don't seem to have the damage. They've got the sustain, but Momo still a little bit hesitant to go in for the full dive, but now they have to completely back out.
Not bad coming in from Orange Esports. Oh wait, the fight's still going?
Oh, it's not over yet, but here comes Momo. He's gonna try and chip away Subway, but here comes Neo from the side. He wants to go in for the burst. He gets the connection on the KO punch, but the knock-up stuns coming from Yuski slows down the aggression, but it's not over yet. Orange Esports, they go in for the continuation. They get the crit off Valence, and they get the small pick off on Rival.
Yep, that really came down to some split decisions. Rival knew there was no way he was going to survive. His incandescence was not up, so he tries to go for the one-shot on Valence, saved by aim, and this is why Valence decided to take that killing spree. Had he not have that killing spree, I think Todak might have looked for a re-engage to take that last pick.
Right now, Valence, he has his Blade of Despair, so the amount of damage that is coming out from Valence is going to spike quite heavily, especially looking at Neo. Even though he's 1-4-0, it looks like he can actually tank quite a bit from the damage coming in from Doda. So right now, Orange Esports, we can definitely see that they're slowly going back into the game.
Neo is actually changing up his combos here, right? It's not just a double jab. Wait, hold on, aim.
Oh, that thought for now, aim is going to be caught all by himself. The Daytona Smoker coming from Subway is going to catch on towards one, but he's going to get immediately chunked down. Double kill for Momo. Now, Chiku guys is going to try and slow down Orange Esports with the real manipulation. They catch Stormy. That's a big catch coming from Toda, and they are looking to potentially close out the game. Do they go for the Lord or do they go for the GG push? However, Valence is still alive. The minions is going to be 2 minions, and now with the Black Dragon to scare on the back line, Neo is going to get dived upon. They get the kill. 4 down for the side of Orange Esports, and now Toda, they're looking to clean house. Valence almost died for this, but no, Valence, he goes back in. He gets one-shotted. Monster kill for Momo. Toda, a clean victory again. 2-0 against Orange Esports in this best-of-5 series.
Some very strong plays coming out of Todak so far. Orange Esports cannot seem to find the angle to get in on them.
Right now, it's game point from Toda. Right now, just one more win. One more win. They're going to the grand finals. One more win. They can go to M4, and this time, Orange Esports, it looks like they do not have the same pep in their step as the first game. They really gotta take whatever that they can get in this break, because
Mana mau lari deh? Woi! Mana mau lari? Tinggal ke tu, woi! Woi, diam je! Banyak diam, Mau lari deh!
Adalah. Kau dah pergi lah.
One more game.
I was honestly just caught in the moment because right now, just one win, and like you said, Toda already secured every single World Series ever since M1.
I don't think you guys realized that LaFell was still going on with his eulogy even throughout the mic check. He was still going, pep in your step. Todak is still going on. One more win, one more game, and they're going to go to M4. He just went on.
I agree. You know, it's not just for the grand finals as well. It's one more game to four-time M World Series attendee. How many teams can brag about that?
Right now, honestly, man, Orange Esport, everyone is looking forward to them going up against international teams. Being down 2 games is going to be quite difficult for them to pick themselves back up.
Honestly, I would agree too. And I think as for Orange Esports, their drafts, their laning phase, they are confident with their own capabilities. But if you look at the item build here, as much as we want to see Valence get ahead of Momo in lane, Momo was able to stall that lane really, really well. Even though he is completely outranged by the quick draw coming in from Valence, he cannot necessarily walk up comfortably and take trades against Valence. And yet, he is still 2k ahead of him.
I think the biggest trend here is how Todak played the entire side lanes, right? They completely bullied out everyone from side Orange Esports except for Valence. And the moment they realized that Valence is getting a little bit too far ahead,